Welcome to Concept Craft. We are presenting step-by-step videos training to crack your certification exam, so you can gain the confidence to take on any accounting challenge. Now let's begin our today's lesson. Enhanced features and new training on managing lists and transactions. Learning outcomes. In this lesson, we'll cover enhanced features and new training on managing lists and transactions. Topics: recurring transactions feature, the time tab in account and settings, recording a negative deposit. QuickBooks Online is always evolving to make it easier and quicker for clients to record transactions and manage data in their books. Two recent additions to QuickBooks Online are the time tab in account and settings and the ability to record a deposit with a negative value. In this lesson, we'll show you these new features. We'll also look at the recurring transactions and customer types features, which have been included in the most recent version of the QuickBooks Online Training and Certification exam. Recurring transactions feature. We'll start by looking at the recurring transactions feature in QuickBooks Online. Although this feature isn't new, and you might already be familiar with setting up and using recurring transactions, the QuickBooks Online Training and Certification exam have been updated to include the recurring transactions feature, so we've included some details in this year's recertification training. If you haven't worked with recurring transactions yet, here's a brief overview. Most clients have transactions, for example, bills and deposits, that occur regularly. QuickBooks Online's recurring transactions feature allows them to automate these transactions rather than processing them manually each time. Clients can create templates for recurring transactions that are at regular intervals and in fixed amounts. They can set up recurring transactions to occur on a scheduled or unscheduled basis, or as just a reminder. Once a client has set up a recurring transaction, QuickBooks Online will automate the process. You'll find more detailed training and guidance in the lesson on creating and using recurring transactions. Creating and using customer types. As a client's list of customers grows, they may want to group or categorize their customers. This will make it easier to filter their customers list and run reports by customer. This is where the customer types feature comes in, because it allows clients to group customers into different segments. For instance, the client may want to mark customers by how they heard about the business, such as through referral or online search. This could help the client with future marketing and promotion campaigns. Although it's not a new feature of QuickBooks Online, clients love being able to assign customer types, which is why we've included it in this year's recertification training. Use the following questions to discover more about customer types. How do you create a new customer type? In the Customer Center, select Customer Types from the top. This opens the Customer Types list. In this example, you can see that 4 customer types have already been created. To create a new one, select New Customer Type at the top. Give it a suitable name and select Save. How do you assign a customer to a customer type? Once you've created a customer type, you can assign a customer to it. To do this, select the customer name in the Customer Center and select Edit. Scroll down to the Additional Info section and select the desired customer type from the drop-down. Select Save. You can also assign multiple customers to a customer type using the Batch Actions tool in the Customer Center. Select the checkbox next to any customers you wish to assign to a particular customer type. Then, from the Batch Actions drop-down, choose Select Customer Type. Choose the appropriate customer type, then select Apply. How can you view customers by customer type? Go to the grid gear icon in the Customer Center and check the box for customer type. This adds a customer type column to the grid, as you can see here. How can you run reports by customer type? Clients can also run reports that show transactions by customer type. The Sales by Customer Type Detail report shows transactions grouped by customer type. You can also customize the Sales by Customer Detail and Customer Contact List reports to add the customer type field. You can find out more about running and customizing reports in the Basic Reporting Options and Customizing Reports lessons. The Time tab in Account and Settings. A recent addition to QuickBooks Online is the Time tab in Account and Settings. Clients can use this to configure their time tracking settings in QuickBooks Online. There are 2 sections in the tab, General and Time Sheet. Select the headers to explore each section. General. Timesheet. General. The General section allows clients to specify the first day of the work week. Timesheet. The Timesheet section allows clients to configure specific timesheet settings. Clients can use the slider controls to determine whether to include the following features on timesheets. Adds a service dropdown, which workers can use to specify which services they provided in the specified time period. Adds a billable slider control that determines whether the activity should be billed to the appropriate customer. Clients can also use the Show Billing Rate to Users Entering Time checkbox to include the billing rate on timesheets. However, if they bill their customers at a different rate than they pay their workers, they may want to leave this checkbox blank. Recording a negative deposit. Until recently, clients could only record deposits of $0 or more in QuickBooks Online. Thanks to a recent product update, clients can now enter deposits of negative value too. To explain how the new functionality works, let's look at an example. Here is a daily financial summary for a client with a retail business. As you can see, the client's gross sales were $135, but they paid out $229 in returns on the same day. Taking discounts into account, this resulted in total net sales of -$95.80. Select the headings to see how the client can record this figure as a negative deposit, and what happens in the relevant bank feed. How can the client record this figure? What happens in the bank feed? How can the client record this figure? Even though the total sales figure is less than $0, the client can record it as a deposit. They should enter the transaction details in the usual way, but with a negative value in the amount column. What happens in the bank feed? The client will have recorded the net payment figure of -$95.80 with their bank. When this transaction downloads into the For Review tab of the associated bank feed, QuickBooks Online will flag it as a potential match with the deposit transaction that the client previously recorded. The client can then accept, or not, the suggested match, as usual. Summing up. Learning outcomes. Well done. In this lesson, we covered enhanced features and new training on managing lists and transactions. Knowledge recap. QuickBooks Online is always evolving to make it easier and quicker for clients to record transactions and manage data in their books. Clients can now record negative deposits, categorize their customers, display/hide specific fields on timesheets, and set up templates to record transactions that occur on a regular basis. Next steps. In the next lesson, we'll explore some recent enhancements to the Banking Center in QuickBooks Online.